What's up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. We are gonna keep the train rolling on the topic of shed hunting this week, and we're gonna talk today about what I take to the woods with me nearly every time I go out looking for shed antlers. And most everything I carry is in my backpack. I'm gonna kind of run through what exactly I have in my backpack when I go out shed hunting, and if I'm going for any kind of walk where I plan on being out for more than a half hour or an hour, I'm taking this backpack with me. There are some walks where I don't carry the pack, but those walks are few and far between, just because I like to have a lot of these things with me, just because it makes for a more enjoyable experience while you're shed hunting. So let's get to it. We'll run through the backpack, show you every item that I carry with me each and every time I go shed hunting. We'll start with, in my opinion, the most important thing that you're going to use shed hunting, and that's a good pair of boots. You're going to be walking potentially several miles. The last thing you want to do is get wet feet or wear a boot that isn't comfortable, because it's going to make for a pretty poor experience if you have sore feet. And so I got here just a pair of Danner hiking boots. I've wore several pairs of boots throughout the years, but lightweight hikers are good if you're shed hunting in a dry climate. If you're in central Wisconsin, on the other hand, you might want to look at wearing, say, rubber boots, where you're going to be trudging through snow or water. Last thing you want is wet feet. Lacrosse Alpha Burleys, right here, they make a good knee high. These are going to be great for shed hunting in the snow, and they're going to be great for shed hunting in areas where you're constantly going through water. But if I'm on dry ground walking and it's not wet outside, I'm going to use hikers just because they're lightweight. And if you're walking 8 to 10 miles in a day, you're going to notice a huge difference between hiking boots and rubber boots. Just the weight and the comfortability. If you're hiking long distances and it's dry out, highly recommend low profile hikers. Another thing I got here, which I think is crucial if you're going shed hunting for an extended period of time, is a good boot dryer. Scent Crusher makes an excellent one. Simply at the end of the day, you plug this thing in, turn it on, and the following morning when you get up and ready to head out to go shed hunting again, you got dry boots. If you start the day with wet boots, it's not gonna be a fun day. So got good boots and a boot dryer to kind of kick it off. Next, we move on to an item that ain't in my backpack, but I'm wearing it, and that's a good pair of binocs. I've got a pair of Razor 10x42s from Vortex here, and then topped with a phone scope shoulder strap. So I can literally throw these on, and they are sitting literally right at my chest. Easy to use. Simply throw them up, let them go. You forget they're even there, but I cannot stress enough how important it is to have binocs with you if you're out shed hunting. Binocs are gonna save you, I don't even know how many steps they're gonna save you, but they're gonna save you a shit ton of wasted walking. If you see an object, whether it's 10 yards away, 20 yards away, or 100 yards away out in the field, you can very quickly throw the binocs up. Yep, that's another stick. And save yourself from walking over there and checking out all these items. There's so many things that you're gonna run across in the woods that look like antlers, whether they're sticks, corn stalks, bean stalks, anything. There's so many things in the woods that look like antlers or parts of antlers, and you're gonna save yourself from walking over and checking all these things out with a pair of binocs. I never go shed hunting without binoculars. In fact, I've driven out to go shed hunting at spots, realized I forgot my binoculars, and I will turn around and go home and get my binocs before I'll go shed hunting without them. They are that important. Next to dry feet and comfortable feet, binocs are the next item that I will not go shed hunting without. So first and foremost, I always take something to drink, whether it's water, Gatorade, whatever you like to drink. Probably not alcohol. It's not gonna increase your odds of finding sheds. But first thing is something to drink. I usually take water or Gatorade. Next thing I'm gonna take is snacks, because who doesn't get hungry when you're out in the woods? Some of my go-tos jerky. I got venison jerky here. I got crackers, peanut butter crackers. I got Rice Krispie treats. A few other things I like to take are just any kind of snack food, nutty bars, peanuts, anything that's gonna kind of give you a quick boost of energy and keep me from, because the last thing you wanna do is get hungry and have to leave the woods. So I like to throw plenty of food in my pack. So the last thing I'm worried about is, you know, ending my day of shed hunting to go eat somewhere. I wanna have plenty of food to get me through the day. Well, this is an item that is in my pack that is 100% superstitious, and not many people even know this is in my shed hunting backpack, but this is a penny that I found probably back in like 2013, but I picked it up. I was actually, I think, in a Casey's parking lot in Iowa, and I picked this up. It was a morning, I stopped to get gas, and I was planning on going shed hunting all day, and I seen this penny laying on the ground, and I'm superstitious like that. I picked this penny up. I thought it was gonna be good luck for the day, and I think I ended up finding 8 or 9 sheds that day. Ever since then, this penny does not leave my backpack. Something stupid that's in my backpack. So then moving on into some other pockets here. One thing is a phone charger. This is a portable power bank. This one is made by Phone Scope. I know there's a lot of these available on the market. Phone Scope makes a really good one. This will charge my phone probably 0 to full 2 or 3 times on a full charge. So I take that, I've got my quick, easy cord that I plug into here, plug straight into my phone. That's gonna allow me to use apps on my phone throughout the day. I like to personally take pictures of all the antlers I find. In the shed hunting community, they're called ATLs, as they lay. So I'll take pictures throughout the day, and that's something just personal for me. I like to keep a memory of the antlers I find and how they were laying. It really kind of helps me in the off season, look at those photos and kind of train my eye. So a portable power bank so your phone's not dying is another thing that never leaves my pack. As most outdoorsmen can relate to, TP, because you never know when nature calls. I always carry TP in my pack. I would like to put it in a Ziploc bag. That way it always stays dry. Even if my pack gets wet, I've got dry toilet paper. Also got a knife. Don't really know why. I never really use it while I'm out there, but you never know when you're gonna need it. So I always carry a jackknife. Got that in my pack. One other thing that I like to carry in my pack is either A, electrical tape, or B, Velcro straps, or both. The only time I use these is if I have an insane walk and find several antlers. One thing that I personally don't like to do while I'm shed hunting is if I find an antler, I want to get it out of my hands and out of my mind, which means I want to get it on my back. So I'm gonna, fill up my backpack. And like I said, I don't use these unless I have an exceptional day shed hunting. So I want to put the antlers in my backpack. Once I run out of room in my backpack, I carry these simply so I can, either tape the antlers together or Velcro them together. That way I can strap them to my pack. That way all my antlers are on my back versus in my hands. And I've done it plenty of times. If you find a shed and you're walking around without a backpack and you're distracted, you're looking at that shed, you're playing with that shed, and the last thing you're doing is worrying about finding the next one, which if you're out shed hunting, that's the end goal, is to find the next one. So I always carry straps and or electrical tape. That way if my pack does fill up, which it ain't gonna happen very often, but it does happen, and when it does happen, I wanna make sure I can fasten all those antlers to my backpack, keep them on my back and out of my mind so I can focus on finding the next antler. Another thing that isn't in my pack, but it's right here, is my cell phone. I use Basemap. The app's great. I can simply, especially when I'm walking large tracts of land or public land, I like to keep an idea from year to year where I'm finding antlers, because you're gonna notice that there's core shedding areas, and you can very easily, draw the big picture by using an app like Basemap, where I can mark where I'm finding individual sheds, and you can zoom in, very accurately to right where you picked an antler up. Mark it on there. At the end of the day, you're gonna get back to camp or wherever, back to your house, and you're gonna pull that app open, and you're gonna kind of be able to zoom out, and you're gonna notice like, all right, I found a lot of sheds on this hillside, or I found a lot of sheds on this fence line. And year after year, typically, you know, it does change as food sources change, but typically when you find those hot spots where deer shed, you can pretty much bank on walking those year after year and turning up sheds. So I use Base Map, can't stress it enough. Kind of really, you know, you can mark your tracks on there, kind of gives you an idea of where you've walked. It gives you an idea of areas that you should pay more attention to. That way you're doing a thorough job covering everything when you're out shed hunting. The last item in my backpack that I haven't shown yet is a bone saw. This might not actually be a bone saw, but I've used it enough times to know that it does work on bone. Depending on the state regulations where you're shed hunting, you should always pay attention to state regulations, because sooner or later when you're out shed hunting, you're gonna run across what I call a deadhead, meaning you're gonna run across antlered buck that died from reasons unknown, whether a hunter shot it during the season, whether it got EHD or some other kind of disease, whether it got killed in a fight. Eventually, if you spend enough time in the woods, you're gonna run across a dead buck. And a lot of times, that's something that you might, as a shed hunter, you might wanna take home and, you know, clean it up, make a Euro mount, whatever. Here in Iowa, to legally take home a deadhead, you have to contact your local DNR officer, and they will a lot of times issue you a salvage tag. And that's the only way you can legally transport that deadhead from the woods to your house. Like I said, check the regulations. Not every state requires a salvage tag, but most of them do. I would treat every state like I treat Iowa. If I find a deadhead, I'm gonna call my local law enforcement and I'm gonna say, hey, I was out looking for deer antlers. I came across a dead buck. What do I have to do to take it home? And they're gonna walk you through those steps. And that's why I carry this saw with me. If I find a dead deer in the middle of the woods, make that quick phone call, go through the steps, and then I'm cutting the head off and I'm taking it with me. So can't stress enough, a bone saw. So again, hopefully these videos are helping you guys as we kind of enter peak shed hunting season. Hopefully they make you become a better and more successful shed hunter. Hopefully everybody gets out at some point and enjoys the outdoors. Maybe you'll find a shed or two along the way. But again, we appreciate you guys following along on the channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications. That way you have an idea when we drop new videos, and we'll catch you here on the next vlog.